We spend a lot of time thinking about why traditional systems, a bureaucratic system, has such a hard time interacting in a networked world. So the bluff here, the bottom line up front, is that if you are part of a traditional system, like most of us are, it's worth putting some thought into what networked problems look like in your world and how you can have impact on them. Our experience here goes back to our time in the military and the work we've done in industry. And it can be confusing to think about how these systems interact with each other. But at the same time, it's pretty simple once you stare at it long enough, right? A traditional system is built on, a senior leader here making a decision. It cascades through layers and layers of the organization where people clean it up, apply that thinking against available resources, et cetera. And eventually someone or a team down here is told to do a thing. When you're competing against something that's similarly structured and approaching the problem the same way, the question is, how quickly and efficiently can you do this process? That said, today's world doesn't always look like that. When systems that are built to do business this way are fighting network problems, the rules of the game change. Once you get word down to this team here that they should go and do X, go interact with that problem, they go out there, they do a great job, they find new information, and they bring that information back to you as their boss, and you give it to your boss, and eventually it gets up to the decision makers, wherever that might lie in the organization. They map that against the strategy of the business, and then they tell another team through that same process down in reverse to go out and do another thing. Based on what we learned here last week, last month, last quarter, I want you to go out and accomplish this, because now we understand how these two relate to each other. The problem is, in a networked world, something that looks like this, once you touch this problem, you're automatically, in near real time, impacting how this problem looks, how this problem looks, and how this problem looks. So by the time a team gets out there to interact with what was the next logical decision, the situation has changed. So the takeaway for key leaders here is think about the difference in time in the interaction of a big traditional system in a truly networked environment. You have to come up with ways to communicate faster, decentralize decisions down to those teams on the field, so that when you send them out to do one thing, they have the empowerment and the shared understanding at their level to be able to take that information and independently move to the next opportunity.